Hello, 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 hello. This is Linda Murray Bullitt. They call me the business plug, and you've just tuned into the business plugs mixer. I had a guest. I did have a guest for today, but for whatever reason, she's not here. So you have me. So let's talk about some things I've been working on, trying to get the positioning right, right? This is going live. I tell you what, it comes with its own set of challenges. But I want to make sure that if you are needing grant support, if you want to know how to get grants, if you want to know how to write grants, if you want to know where to look for to get the specific type of grants that you need for your business, I am hosting a training session on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. I am hosting everybody that wants to know, everybody that wants to learn, and everybody that wants to use what I teach them in order to get grant funding. It is grant season, y'all. And so today, instead of talking about what I plan to talk about with Lindsay, I am going to talk about grant funding because what I learned is a lot of people are afraid of grants for whatever reason. They're saying, well, I don't know if my business will qualify, or I don't know if my business can get a grant. And here's the thing, if you've done the hard work, right? If you've made sure that you have your licensing, if you've made sure that you are ethical, if you made sure that you've considered your business a service and not an entitlement, if you are out here doing the work, chances are there's probably a grant that can support your efforts, right? I was talking to someone the other day, and she was saying, "Oh, I have to get my client to attend your session because Linda, they're making six figures, but they just need some equipment. If they could get a grant for the equipment, they could go ahead and it would mean like tripling what they were already making in revenue." So it doesn't. A lot of times people say, "Well, grants are for startups, or grants are for people new." And there are grants for people who they call them seed money, seed grants, where it will help you start your business, right? But then also, if you've been out here doing the thing, like if you've been out here working, there are grants for you too. And so grant magic is about learning where those grants are, learning what language you need to use in order to apply for those grants, and learning how to make sure that you can do this yourself, right? You can do this. Everything that I teach, people can do it themselves. In fact, I teach for that reason. I have a whole build your own business series that I use in order to teach businesses how to do it themselves, because when you can do it yourself, you save time and you also save money. You don't have to wait on other people. You can, like, when you want to get it done, you get it done. I was telling someone the other night that I woke up one morning and said, I want an app. And so, which sounds really crazy, right? People tell me all the time, you don't act like you are your age, but I'm a doer. I'm a doer. And if I put my mind to something I want to do, I don't let my age get in the way of that. So an app just to see how an app worked. And I was going to use that app for scheduling. And so I got up that morning and my intention was to have my go at creating an app before the evening. And I created it. And I surprised myself. Not only did I create it, not only did I create the app, I also put it on Google, in the Google Play Store, and was working on it. Was a little bit more difficult to put it in Apple back then. It's a lot easier now. But back then it was a little bit more difficult. I didn't get it in Apple, but I did get it in the Google Play Store. And so people were able to download my app because I woke up one morning and thought, I would like to have an app for my scheduling. That just goes to show you that whatever you put your mind to, if you want to do it, you can do it. If it's getting grant funding, if it's, um, opening that business, writing that book, going back to class and getting that degree or getting that certification or whatever it is that you have made up in your mind to do, you can do it. Like here, if you need a sign, if you need a sign or you need somebody to tell you, I'm your sign, you can do it. I promise you, you can do it. If you put in the I want to get it done, you'll do it every single time. I'm a witness. Like people say, well, again, I get to hear this all the time. when I was with a business some business owners last Saturday in Nashville, and there were 12 of them, and I don't act like I'm 64 years old, evidently, in life, and they were like, Miss Linda, what? Because before it was Linda this, Linda this, Linda that, and then when I told them my age, they were like, "Oh, you're Miss Linda. You're not just Linda. You're Miss Linda." And so they started addressing me as Miss Linda because I could probably be their mother. I mean, or grandmother. A lot of young people in the room, but they tend to think that I'm their age. Millennials and people think I'm in my 40s. I get to hear that all the time. I get to hear, you don't seem like, but I'm a great grandmother in real life. I'm a great grandmother in real life. And I am here to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. If you want to go back to school, if you want to do that book, if you want to, you know, open that business, like take a career change, do something different with the rest of your life, whatever you want to do, you can do it if you want to. You just have to want to. That want to is a big thing, right? So I want to tell you, because this is happening this Saturday at 4 p.m., as it says behind me. So I want to tell you why you should be there. In fact, I have created 8 reasons why people would want to come to the grant. And look, and I probably need my glasses now. But 8 reasons why people should want to come and attend my session on Saturday. So the first one is, I want to unlock the vault. Like, a lot of times people think that, you know, you should have this kind of knowledge. In fact, I've had friends who go ahead and they apply for different grants and they do different things, and they'll say, "Well, Linda, I just applied for it. I just applied for it. I didn't know what I was doing. I saw a grant come across my timeline and I applied for it." And that's good, because that's a tenacity saying that you wanted to get it done, right? But in my session, by attending my session, you're going to get the golden key. Like, I plan to give you the enhancement of what you already know how to do, right? So my person, one of my, in fact, she's my AP, she's my accountability partner. We spent time together. She attended my last session, and she said, um, "Okay, I've been applying for grants for a long time, and you just explained to me why I don't get them, why I'm not getting them. Now you just kicked my level up, and I have already applied for $63,000 in grants since we talked last, right?" She had already applied for over 200,000 before we met, but because she felt empowered by the session, she was like, "Okay, now I know what I'm doing." Then I was just, doing whatever, but now that I know what I'm doing, I feel so empowered, and I've applied for another $63,000 in grants. So the attendees will learn the inside secrets for tapping into the resources that you probably don't even know exist. Like, that's what a grant session with me is about. Also, demystifying the process. So a lot of times people say, "Well, I don't apply for grants because it just seems too hard, or I don't understand the language they're leading, or I don't know what they want me to do." And so we're going to actually go through and apply for a grant in the session. I just had a couple reach out to me this morning who said, "Well, Miss Linda, my husband wants to come too. So does the price cover one person, or is it for 2 people?" And like I told her, you can bring your husband. I definitely want husband and wives to have that same, group of knowledge. I definitely want, if you have a team, you and 2 other people can attend. I want your team up to 3 people total. I want your team to attend. I want not just one person to be the smart person in the room. I want your team to understand why it's important that everybody on the team has the same level of knowledge and know what role they play in it. Because I want you to get the grants. Also, maximize your impact. So I teach how you craft the proposals. It's not just enough to just read it and then do what it says. I teach you how you can get remembered. I teach you how yours will stand out in a sea of applications. Like, when we're in the session, I'm training you on what's going to make you stand out up and above the other people, right? And here's the thing, I'm not teaching you something that I read in a book. I'm teaching you the process that I actually use myself. So I'm out here applying for grants just like you. I'm out here trying to get the money just like you. And so I'm teaching you what I'm doing in order to win grants so that you can win grants too. So, Network Powerhouse. My class is not a one-way street. It is bustling crossroad of networking opportunities, connecting attendees with peers, mentors, and potential collaborators. Because what I learned, collaborations get funded. So it has not failed not one time yet. When you get a group of business owners together, somebody in the room needs to meet somebody else in the room, right? And so I'm going to teach you how to get to create that synergy, that network, that collaboration, because that's what gets funded, really, if you want to talk about it. Unless it's a business grant for a specific person for a specific thing, collaborations are the new hot sauce when you're talking about getting grant money. So whose services complement yours? I was talking to a team the other night, a team of women out of my friend in Alabama had me come in, and I was telling them, collaborations are the hot sauce. Like you put the collaborations between whose business that complements what you're doing, or who does your business complement. Working in teams and getting to know, like, and trust each other and do business with one another is the new hot sauce. You can get that done. And so that's the thing I teach when we're creating you a network so that you're a network powerhouse. Also, tailored strategies. So when you're doing grant writing, anybody that tells you one size fit all are not telling you the truth. They're not telling you the truth because one size does not fit all. And so there are specific things for you. You come with your own story, right? So there's a specific, I can't talk. There are specific things for you that you want to put in your grant about your journey, about what you've done. Can you articulate your story? I teach you how to do that. And then the real world insights. So, with my track record, I've been able to give my attendees more than just theory. Like in our sessions, they get real world insight from someone who's navigated the grant landscape and done it with finesse and with success. So, I want to teach you based on my own history, right? Based on what I've already done in my own life. Empowerment. Beyond the grants, I am about to empower you. I am all about empowerment. My attendees will leave not just with knowledge, but with the confidence to pursue their goals relentlessly. Like when people attend my class, they say, "Girl, I didn't sleep for days. After coming to your class, everything that you gave me, I wanted to implement. Everything that you told me, I start knocking it off, made a checklist of it, and got it done." And so I'm waiting to hear the results of it, right? Because the thing that makes you a believer is actually doing the work. Like, how can I get you to actually do the work so that you can get the grant funding that you're seeking, right? And then continuous support. So I've been here, my business is 11 years old, and I'm not just a fly by night, I'm here today, gone tomorrow. So my commitment doesn't end with when the class ends. I provide avenues for ongoing support, ensuring that my attendees aren't just prepared but are actually propelling forward. Like, I have people, if you've ever been in any session that I've held, be it a workshop, a webinar, or even in the classroom as my student, I make every effort to make sure that I support you, not just part time, but long term, right? And so I am sharing information, I am linking people. I laugh because I have friends around the world, and I found two of my friends that I met in separate times. Actually, both are in London, England. And so what they do complement one another. And I put them together. And I'm like, I'm over here in little town, Chattanooga, Tennessee, over here in what they think is a country. It's really not, but people think it is. It's a lot of people that I am so sorry. You know how it is. The minute you go live, somebody's gonna call, but in any case, I was able to take those two ladies from way over in London, England, and put them together. And now, they've met and had tea and have found the synergy that I saw in them. So that's what I love doing. I love people all around the country. I get to introduce them to each other when I think that they complement one another. And so that's why they call me the plug, because I plug people in. I was talking to a young man just the other night about his vision. He has 50 something acres that he's trying to make a tiny house community. And I was able to put him with a builder that I know is going to bless his soul, but also give him some resources so that he can know which direction he needs to go in the right way. Because that's one thing, like there are so many resources out here, but I do the vetting first. So if I refer you to someone, you can best believe that person is going to treat you like I would treat you. And so there is a level of professionalism that the people that I send to you will provide. So in case I came on because my guest, I hope she's okay. I pray she's okay. But I came on because my guest didn't show up, but I still wanted to show up for you. And I still wanted to tell you, in order to get um, access to grant funding, I am hosting Grant Magic, and I'm going to put that in the chat. Grant Magic 101. I'm going to give you where if you would like to have a ticket to the event, you are welcome to join me on Saturday. And so if I get an out of state, like someone who's not in my area, because I plan to do it live, right? I plan to do it in person. But if I have people who are not in the vicinity, in my proximity to that want the information, I'm going to give you a live feed so that you can actually participate too, regardless of where you are. So reach out to me, get in my DM, send me a DM. Let me know who you are, where you are, and I'll make sure that you can be present with me on Saturday, March the 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug. You just tuned into the Business Plugs Mixer, where I have business conversations for business people. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back on next Saturday. You're going to love next Sunday. You're going to love Sunday because I am having a guest, and we're going to talk about corporate hurt. Have you ever been in a situation in corporate America where somebody, for no apparent reason, was very cruel to you? How do you get past that, and how do you use that to your advantage? My name is Linda Murray Bullard, and I'm bringing on my host, my guest next week, and we're going to have an in-depth conversation about corporate hurt and how to live past it. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next week on the Business Plugs Mixer. Good night, everyone.